Jungkook had always been drawn to Tae, his quiet, reserved classmate. They'd met through mutual friends, and while Tae's mysterious charm had intrigued Jungkook, it was his shyness that really captured his heart. There was something so endearing about how Tae's eyes turned red whenever Jungkook teased him, or how he always seemed to stammer when they were alone. At first, their relationship was innocent. They'd spend hours talking, Tae listening to Jungkook ramble about his day, while Tae would quietly observe, offering a few words here and there. Despite how close they had grown over the months, Tae had never kissed Jungkook. It wasn't as though Jungkook didn't want to take things further, he did, but Tae's hesitance made him hold back. He thought maybe Tae was simply too shy to make the first move. But what Jungkook didn't know was that beneath Tae's shy exterior was a man far from innocent. One evening, Jungkook decided to change things. He wanted more than just shy glances and fleeting touches. He wanted to see Tae's desire, to feel the heat of his affection. So, Jungkook planned to Tae. They were in Tae's apartment, sitting on the couch with a movie playing in the background, though neither was paying much attention. Jungkook slowly scooted closer to Tae, their knees brushing. "Tae," Jungkook whispered, leaning in just enough to catch his boyfriend's attention. Tae's wide eyes met his, and Jungkook could see the familiar nervousness behind them. "You know, we've been together for a while now, but you never really." Jungkook paused, a small smile playing on his lips. "You never kiss me." Tae's cheeks flushed, and he looked down at his lap. It's not that I don't want to, Jungkook." "Then why don't you?" Jungkook pushed a little, moving even closer so their faces were only inches apart. He could feel Tae's breath hitch, but there was something else flickering in his boyfriend's eyes now, something that made Jungkook's heart race. I don't want to rush things," Tae replied, though there was an unusual calm in his voice now. Jungkook leaned in, brushing his lips close to Tae's ear, feeling the tension in the air eyes. "Rush things? Tae, we've been together for 6 months. Don't you want to kiss my plump pouty lips?" Jungkook's voice was soft but erring. Jungkook's hands ghosted over Tae's thigh, testing the waters, thinking he was still in control. But he was wrong. Suddenly, Tae's hands shut up, gripping Jungkook's wrist, stopping his teasing movements. His gaze wasn't shy anymore, it was intense, piercing. The softness Jungkook was used to had vanished, replaced by a look that made his skin tingle. "Is that what you want, Cookie? For me to kiss you?" Tae's voice was low, but there was a new edge to it, one Jungkook hadn't heard before. It sent a shiver down his spine. Jungkook nodded, feeling his breath catch in his throat. He hadn't expected this shift in Tae, this boldness. But before he could process what was happening, Tae leaned in and finally, after all these months, claimed Jungkook's plump pouty lips. The kiss wasn't soft or hesitant. It was deep, passionate, and overwhelming. Tae's hands gripped the back of Jungkook's neck, pulling him closer, as if he'd been holding back all this time, and now he was finally letting it all out. Jungkook's mind spun. This wasn't the shy, hesitant Tae he'd fallen for, this was someone else entirely, someone who knew exactly what he was doing. When they broke apart, Jungkook was breathless, his chest heaving. Tae stared at him with dark, hooded eyes, his lips slightly swollen from the kiss. "You think I'm innocent, don't you?" Tae whispered, his thumb tracing Jungkook's swollen bottom lip. Jungkook was speechless, unsure how to respond. He had never seen Tae like this, so confident, so intense. Tae leaned in again, this time speaking directly into Jungkook's ear, his breath against his skin. "You've been trying to me, but you have no idea who you're playing with, Cookie." Jungkook swallowed hard, his heart racing. I thought, you thought I was too shy, too scared to kiss you." Tae chuckled darkly, his fingers trailing down Jungkook's jaw. "You have no idea how long I've been holding back, waiting for you to push me just far enough." Jungkook's pulse quickened as Tae's lips coasted over his neck, his breath sending shivers down his spine. He wasn't in control anymore, and that realization both excited and terrified him. "Tae," Jungkook stammered, but Tae didn't let him finish. He pressed their bodies together, his hands firm on Jungkook's waist, his lips claiming his again, more demanding this time. "You wanted a kiss, Cookie. I'll give you more than just a kiss." Tae murmured against his lips, his voice dripping with confidence. Jungkook's world spun as Tae's hands roamed, his touch firm and possessive. He had never seen this side of his boyfriend before, but now that it was unleashed, he couldn't deny how much it thrilled him. Every kiss, every touch from Tae was filled with a hunger that left Jungkook breathless and wanting more. "You thought I was the shy one, didn't you? But you, Cookie, you're the one who's been playing with fire." Tae whispered in between kisses, his voice laced with amusement. And in that moment, Jungkook realized just how wrong he had been about his quiet, innocent boyfriend. Tae wasn't just shy, he had been waiting, patiently, to show Jungkook a side of him he never expected. And now, he wasn't holding back anymore. Jungkook's mind was reeling, his body pressed against Tae's, the weight of the other's hands grounding him, yet also sending shockwaves of anticipation through his veins. Every kiss was a stark contrast to the shy Tae he had known. This Tae, the one who kissed him with intensity, left him breathless, overwhelmed. You're different," Jungkook gasped, his fingers curling into Tae's shirt as he tried to steady himself. "I thought you were innocent." Tae finished the sentence for him, amusement dancing in his eyes. His hand slipped down Jungkook's back, tracing the line of his spine, sending shivers in its wake. "Maybe I wanted you to think that, Cookie. Maybe I wanted you to feel in control." Jungkook's lips parted, his heart thudding loudly in his chest. This version of Tae was new, unexpected, and it left him feeling exposed. The gentle shyness that Jungkook had always associated with him was a facade, one that had now crumbled to reveal someone who knew exactly how to take what he wanted. "Why didn't you ever tell me? I thought you were." Jungkook's voice was barely above a whisper. Tae smirked, his thumb brushing lightly over Jungkook's bottom lip, silencing him. "Why would I tell you when watching you try to me was so much more fun?" Jungkook's eyes widened at Tae's words. His innocent attempt to tease and coax Tae into kissing him had been nothing more than a game to the older boy. And now, the tables had turned. leaving Jungkook feeling unsteady, his earlier confidence slipping away. But even in his confusion, Jungkook couldn't ignore the heat that pooled in his stomach. This Tae, confident, bold, was irresistible. I don't know what to do now. Jungkook tried to gather his thoughts, but the warmth of Tae's body against his made it impossible to think straight. Tae's eyes softened just a little at Jungkook's admission, but the smirk on his lips remained. You don't have to do anything. Just let me take care of you, Tae said, his voice low and husky. Jungkook's breath caught in his throat. The way Tae spoke to him now, with that mix of authority and gentleness, made his knees weak. He had been so sure that he could be the one to push Tae out of his shell, but now it was Tae who had completely unraveled him. Without another word, Tae leaned in again, capturing Jungkook's lips in a kiss that was slow but filled with purpose. His hand stood up, cupping the back of Jungkook's neck, pulling him deeper into the kiss, while his other hand rested firmly on his waist, holding him in place. Jungkook softly against Tae's, his hands clinging to the front of Tae's shirt for support. He had never felt so completely out of control before, and yet, he found himself surrendering to it, letting Tae guide him. You feel so good. I've wanted this for so long, Tae whispered against Jungkook's lips, his breath hot and heavy. Jungkook's heart skipped a beat at Tae's confession. He hadn't realized how much Tae had been holding back, how much he had been waiting for this moment. The thought of it made Jungkook's pulse race even faster. You never said anything. I thought I had to make the first move, Jungkook murmured, his fingers tightening in Tae's shirt. Tae chuckled softly, his lips brushing against Jungkook's neck now, leaving feather-light kisses that made his skin tingle. I was waiting for you to be ready, baby. But now that you've pushed me, there's no going back, Tae said, his voice rumbling against Jungkook's skin. The intensity in Tae's words sent a rush of heat through Jungkook. He had wanted this, had wanted Tae to kiss him, to break free from his shyness, but now that it was happening, it was far more overwhelming than he had imagined. Do you want me to stop? Tell me, baby. Do you want me to stop? Tae asked, his voice soft but laced with something darker, a teasing challenge. Jungkook's breath hitched. His head was spinning, his heart pounding in his chest, and yet, the last thing he wanted was for Tae to stop. He didn't want the kisses to end or the way Tae's touch made him feel. No, Jungkook whispered, his voice barely audible, but the word hung between them, filled with all the longing and desire he had been trying to hide. Tae's eyes darkened in response, a satisfied smile curling on his lips. Good. Without warning, Tae's hands shifted, gripping Jungkook's waist firmly as he pulled him closer. The kiss that followed was far more intense than before, their bodies pressing together, heat building between them. Jungkook's mind went blank as he gave in to the sensations, the feel of Tae's lips, the strength of his grip, the way his body seemed to mold perfectly against his own. Jungkook's hands, once hesitant, now roamed freely, sliding up Tae's chest, feeling the steady beat of his heart beneath his fingertips. Every touch, every kiss was electric, igniting something deep within him that he hadn't known was there. Tae, I didn't know you could be like this, Jungkook gasped, breaking the kiss for a moment to catch his breath. Tae's smile was soft but confident, his fingers tracing the edge of Jungkook's jaw. "There's a lot you don't know about me, baby. But I am willing to show you, if you're ready," Tae whispered, his voice sending a shiver down Jungkook's spine. Jungkook's breath caught in his throat as Tae's words hung in the air, the promise of something deeper, something more intense lingering between them. And despite the whirlwind of emotions, despite how overwhelming everything felt, Jungkook knew one thing for sure. He was ready. Tae's lips trailed down Jungkook's jawline, leaving a searing path of kisses. Jungkook could barely think, his mind clouded by the heat building between them. His hands, now bolder, slid up Tae's chest, feeling the firmness beneath the thin fabric of his shirt. "Tae," Jungkook breathed, tilting his head to give Tae more access to his neck. The older man didn't waste the opportunity, his lips working skillfully to leave faint marks on Jungkook's sensitive skin. "You drive me crazy, baby. Do you have any idea how hard it's been to hold back?" Tae murmured against his neck, his voice low and husky. Jungkook's heart raced at Tae's confession, his fingers clutching Tae's shirt tighter. "Then why did you act so shy?" Jungkook asked, his voice shaking slightly. Tae pulled back slightly, his dark eyes meeting Jungkook's. "Because I wanted you to come to me first. I didn't want to scare you away," Tae said softly. Jungkook's breath caught at the vulnerability in Tae's eyes. "You could never scare me. I've wanted this too for so long," Jungkook whispered. A slow, satisfied smile spread across Tae's face. "Good. Because now, I'm not holding back anymore," Tae said, his voice a low rumble. Before Jungkook could respond, Tae captured his lips again, this time with even more intensity. His hands roamed freely, exploring Jungkook's body with a confidence that left him breathless. Jungkook felt like he was on fire, every nerve in his body alive with sensation. Tae's lips moved back to Jungkook's neck, then lower, his kisses growing bolder. Jungkook gasped, his head falling back as Tae's hands slid under his shirt, his warm palms pressing against his skin. "You're perfect. Everything about you," Tae murmured, his lips brushing against Jungkook's collarbone. Jungkook's cheeks flushed at the compliment, but he couldn't bring himself to look away from Tae. "Tae, I didn't know you could be so intense." Tae chuckled softly, his eyes sparkling with mischief. "There's a lot you don't know about me, baby. But I'm more than happy to show you," Tae said, his voice teasing. Jungkook felt his pulse quicken at Tae's words. He had always seen Tae as quiet, reserved, almost timid. But now, seeing this side of him, the confident, passionate side, was exhilarating. "Show me, then. I want to know all of you," Jungkook said, his voice barely above a whisper. Tae's eyes darkened at Jungkook's words, his grip on him tightening. "You don't know what you're asking for. But I'll give you everything, baby," Tae said, his voice low and filled with promise. With that, Tae lifted Jungkook effortlessly, carrying him toward the bed. Jungkook's arms wrapped around Tae's neck, his heart pounding with anticipation. Tae laid him down gently, his hands never leaving Jungkook's body as he hovered over him. "You're so beautiful," I've waited so long for this moment, Tae said, his voice filled with reverence. Jungkook's cheeks burned at the intensity in Tae's gaze. Then don't make me wait any longer, Jungkook whispered, his hands pulling Tae closer. Tae's lips crashed against Jungkook's again, their kisses growing deeper, more urgent. Every touch, every kiss, was a revelation, and Jungkook couldn't get enough. He felt like he was falling, completely and utterly lost in Tae. Tae, I'm yours, Jungkook gasped, his hands clutching at Tae's shoulders. Tae's eyes softened at Jungkook's words, a tender smile spreading across his face. And I'm yours. Always, Tae said, his voice filled with emotion. The night stretched on, filled with whispered confessions, passionate kisses, and gentle touches. By the time they finally lay tangled together, their breaths mingling, Jungkook felt a deep sense of peace. For the first time, he knew without a doubt that he was exactly where he was meant to be with Tae, the man who had captured his heart in very way. The end. Thanks for watching Puffballs. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment and share. Also subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to never miss any updates.